What's up, hello, I hope you all are doing well. Somehow we've already finished the first 3 months of 2022, which means that it is time once again for my first quarter wrap-up. I will say that this year I have been in what I would consider sort of half a reading slump. A lot of the books that I have sitting, either next to me on the bookshelf or next to me on the table in the front room with every good intention of reading them, I just often am feeling less and less motivated to do it. Part of me thinks that it is the weather. It's really taking a long time for spring to spring up where I am, and so it's just perpetually sort of dreary and dreary, and somehow that doesn't really inspire me to go read. And a little bit of it is that I've set myself all of these books for book club, which I like to listen to in audio format, and some of them recently I just haven't been able to get into audio format. So it's a whole combination of things, but hopefully as the days get longer and the sun shines brighter, I will be able to read at the pace to which I am accustomed. And until that time, these are the books that I read in the first 3 months of the year. I talked about this book a little bit in my last video where I did a book haul, and that is The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. Beck sent me this for my birthday, and I read this right at the top of the year. I talk more about it there. This is a very, very cute contemporary romance novel. It also deals in hard science, which is something that I think we don't see very often, particularly in the romance genre. So these are two scientists. Olive is trying to earn her PhD, and this is one of the people who teaches at her school, and it's incredibly cute. For more details on it, go check out the book haul where I say a little bit more, but I really enjoyed this. It was pretty fast-paced. It's just shy of 400 pages, but it doesn't feel like 400 pages. It's not particularly heady. It does have some themes in it that I would consider to be a little bit triggering, perhaps, for some, if you have any dating trauma, let's say. So be aware of that. But it is a wonderful read, and I would recommend it if this genre is your thing. The next book that I finished in January is one that I've also already talked about in my last video, and that is Mediocre: The Dangerous Legacy of White Male America by Ijeoma Oluo, and I began reading this in the beginning of January 2021, back when it was extremely relevant based on a lot of the things that happened on the 6th day of that month here in the US, and I think this is a very important book. I think that it is a very important book because it will ask you, if you are a white person in the United States, to come to terms with some ideas about which you're not comfortable, and you don't want to deal with that, and you don't want to read about it right now because you only want to read about happy things. So you might as well jump in and learn about the perspectives of some other people and the experiences of some other people, and particularly if you're into American football, there's a great chapter in here that you should consider reading. I think this is an important book, so much so that if you're watching this and you know me in real life, you might just find me leaving it in your house one day. The next book that I read is one that I've already read, and we read it for book club in January, and that is Lillian Boxfish Takes a Walk by Kathleen Rooney. I love this book. Once again, this was another one. Ooh, it's got something in it. Oh, it's the note from Rebecca. How cute is that? Beck sent this to me for my birthday a number of years ago, and we both read it, and we both have done a dual review on it where we're together in the same room, so extra exciting there. This is about a woman who goes on a long walk through New York City on New Year's Eve in the 1980s and just reflects on her life and how much she dealt with and how she got to where she is today, or then. The prose is wonderful. It's very poetic prose. It's very lyrical. It's really a delight. Check out our review about it if you'd like to. This is a beautiful, beautiful book. And I'm really fortunate that my book club really enjoyed it as well. And then in February, for Black History Month, my book club read Mrs. Wiggins by Mary Monroe. And this book, when I looked at it on Goodreads, the majority of the reviews that I read were extremely favorable. They were all supportive. They all said this was a great piece to add to the Mary Monroe canon and collection. It was really wonderful. There are a few people who didn't enjoy it quite so much as her other work, but on the whole, everything that I read about this book was very, very positive. That being said, not a single person in my book club, nor I, found this book well written, well-paced, or really that enjoyable. Which was disappointing because I had looked at all of the reviews and I thought we were in for something good, and they were reviews from people who had read this author's other work and were praising it still, but this book felt like Mary Monroe was trying to write a suspenseful thriller novel or a mystery story with the same formula and same sort of casual attitude as one might read in a mass market paperback romance. There were pieces of it that just didn't have deep enough explanation of some of the characters or their motivation. There were parts of it that just didn't sort of make sense for what the character was going to do. She jumped to a lot of conclusions without us having a deeper background on her and why she would be doing those things. This did not hit the mark for us. I would ask that if you read this book or if you've read Mary Monroe's other work, that you can tell me either A, why you enjoyed this, or B, what other books she has written that I should read. Because this was not a great introduction to her work, and given all of the reviews, I'm inclined to believe that she's actually a great writer and there are books of hers that I should read. So I'm very curious to see if anyone else has read Mrs. Wiggins. The cover, however, looks incredible. It looks like they're about to adapt this for a Netflix series, which actually I think this would be great as a Netflix series. They could go a little deeper. They could add a little bit more. The motivations of the characters could get a little bit richer. We could have those flashbacks that the main character relates to you in text. We could see those on the screen and really start to probe a little bit more into the depths of these characters' personalities in a way that we just don't get in the text. So if this were to be made into a series, I think this would go over really well. Those are the books that I read in the first quarter. During March, my boyfriend and I went to a number of used bookstores. We had like a bookstore day, which was kind of fun. And I also got The Milk Lady of Bangalore, which is a book that has been on my TBR for a really, really long time. And we only have like 3 or 4 copies in the library, so I haven't been able to sort of get it in the book club list because there aren't enough around to be able to make sure everybody could read it if we have a lot of people come to the club. But now I have my own copy of this and I'm really looking forward to it because it's supposed to be really funny. And if it's not really funny, then I'll just send it off to the library book sale and somebody else will buy it and maybe they'll enjoy it. I can't even tell you about this book, but when I read the description, I was really looking forward to it. So hopefully I will get to this soon and it will be excellent. But right now for book club, we are reading Come Fly the World, the jet age story of the women of Pan Am, which is a nonfiction book, obviously about the women of Pan Am, the airline, from the mid-century. And I'm really enjoying this. I'm listening to it on audiobook and also sort of supplementing with the physical copy because it's got some images in it. So this is really great. The narration is really well done. It's nice to sort of hear from these many different women who are flying and their different journeys, both to becoming a airline flight attendant and also where they go to afterward and what their experiences on the airplane are, and they're sort of giving these accounts into different parts of that time period, which the book spans, that we never really would have had. It's excellent so far, and I would highly recommend it. I haven't finished it yet, but I'm looking forward to doing a full review. And also on my list is a cute book called Mimi Lee Gets a Clue by Jennifer J. Chow, and this is just a fun little mystery romp about a woman who gets accused of murdering a dog, and she has a talking cat named Marshmallow. So this came into my email, I think was a book that was suggested by Penguin, the publishing company, and I was like, you know what, why not? The talking cat named Marshmallow sold me, and I picked up the copy from the library. So looking forward to being motivated again to pick up a book, and maybe it will be this one. If you've read any of these books, please let me know in the comments. I would love to chat more about them. As always, thank you so much for watching. Anything that you might want to know about us is in the description. I hope you're having lovely weeks and lovely lives, and we will see you very soon.